This call is being recorded.
Alrighty, thank you once again for your patience. I do have your chart up here, and yeah, I'm going to kind of, just break down a bit of your chart as it is fantastic. There are a lot of themes here. I want to touch on. There's usually an article I'd share about alien constructs or God constructs. Your moon is in the same sign as Jupiter, so you are a vessel of like the Greco-Roman king of the gods. And that archetype I've studied is amazing. Kanye West said he was a god. He actually has Jupiter on his sun. And yeah, you can see this archetype in many aspects. When you look up stories about people who've blown up or have done certain things, like it's not uncommon to see these things. Your soul, you are the golden producer. Your sun is in the 12th house. You got Chiron here. You literally have the spirit of natural healing. Chiron on your sun in Taurus, like just by being in your presence, my energy is grounding. You're literally like healing stuck energy. If you touch anybody, you literally can heal people with your touch. And as an angel, Gemini rising, you are the embodiment of an angel. This now transcends your spirit awareness in the 12th house, which can make you very misunderstood because now your awareness of the five senses and people's body language is going to be supernatural and transcendent in the sense that will kind of bring, how do I put this into words? It's going to transcend the nature of how you communicate these themes. So people's bodies are going to speak to you non-linearly, where they may not have said it, but you read it in their body. Like someone telling you their new album or mixtape you need to hear, and their body's like, this is not really that good, or something like that. Or they're lying to you or whatever, but you can kind of read that. So these are kind of like non-linear reflections that help you build your spiritual beliefs on solid values. And Uranus is in Scorpio opposite this. So in the sixth house, you're meant to live a very unconventional lifestyle through this emotional intelligence that integrates the unconventional wisdom of how you serve others socially. You're able to quite literally look at psychological patterns in people's behaviors and discern them without even knowing specific things about people. And you may not be conscious as to how people may see you as a witch or be terrified of why they were going through something. And now you said something about the weather that speaks exactly to what they were going through. And you help innovate how people integrate wisdom into what they live. It's deeply psychological. Opposite your Taurus sun is a supernatural manifestation element that kind of transcends how it is you ground these concepts. And the 12th house is misunderstood because now hidden here, this is a house of isolation, mental hospitals, prisons, spirituality. And it represents how no matter who you're with, you're going to see that facet of them that could be lonely. You can see the facet of people that are misunderstood and
Mhm.
kind of bring more light to that. So that's the first thing I want to speak on. The Uranus opposition claircognizantly aligns your physicality to where to touch people, where even if just with your presence, what to speak to people, it is highly advanced. And then on top of that, your MC is in Aquarius. So I'm going to give you an article about celebrities with MC in Aquarius. Um, Will
Mhm.
Smith is a classic example of this, who is a Gemini rising with MC in Aquarius, and he won his first Oscar when Saturn was on his MC in Aquarius, which is legacy. Our MC in Aquarius means that we're meant to be known. You're a household name. You're going to be someone who, of course, whether mega famous or not, you're going to teach and counsel knowledge. Of course, I have this too. I'm known for teaching about the stars. Will
Mhm.
Smith, uh, Miley Cyrus, Dr. Dre. These are acts that have never really fallen off. Like the knowledge of what they've done is kind of special. But 2021, when Saturn was here, was where we all established our legacy. Of course, I'm born 1990. You were born in 79 with Saturn in Virgo. So basically, you've already gone around a block. You're solidifying a lot of what you've already done the past 30 years, and is setting you for the next 30 years. The authority to teach the knowledge of everything you've learned your whole life. And the reason why this is amazing is Saturn in Virgo and then the North Node in Virgo You the South Node in Pisces means you came from heaven. You came from a place beyond the physical. And this blesses y'all with early, first of all, South Node in Pisces represent old souls. You at early childhood and in a past life, you have this gift and talent of imagination. You know how to really tap into, through your imagination, metaphysical concepts and beliefs. You're able to really abstractify the higher meaning of situations. And now your challenge is to use this metaphysical belief to analyze specifically through critical perspectives. Because you're able to think outside the box, this helps you apply to society critical, real ways in which you can ground, facets of your imagination that may not be put into words. This is social work. You're here to bring heaven on earth. Saturn in the North Node in 79 and allows you to manipulate these aspects of destiny where you can be aware of, if I move this cup 2 inches to the right, this is going to happen, versus if I leave it here. And now that Saturn is in Pisces, relative to 2008, where you had your Saturn return, you're coming into a 180-degree opposition this year and next year that's going to harvest this year, because it's 6 degrees, your Saturn return. It's 13 degrees right now. So you've officially made like 184 degrees. And this is a very beautiful period where now you're harvesting all the work you've did the past 17 years. Obviously, in the fourth house, you're here to be an authority and matriarch of your private family life and the social real dynamics that you're comfortable in. Of course, as a Gemini rising, you're the individual embodiment of truth. So facts and details are going to be the analysis with which you're at home at. And you have a high integrity of facts. It's very easy for you to kind of fact check and point out what's, delusional or not necessarily real about, especially as an earth sign, because I really like this, like air signs, water signs, we can really, we're very yin. We can really think all sorts of stuff. And then the Taurus is just like, that's not real. It's not really grounded. And we count on y'all because you guys help, of course, establish what's real about what we think. And it also helps you ground things that we thought weren't possible. So now that Pisces is in your 10th house, a lot of the grounded, this is great for real estate. A lot of the autonomy you've had, the integrity of holding down socially in your environment. Now you're harvesting relative to the global, universal, collective milestone victories. This 10th house Pisces is having you with Saturn and Neptune literally come into success and come into the experience of success. So that's what brings us to the eclipse. You have the North Node in Virgo, and in next year, the South Node will be in Virgo. And so this is getting ready to kind of harvest 9 years worth of the North Node Virgo, where you reinitiated your mission. And now that the North Node will be in Pisces, it's going to take this focus of really crystallizing that analytical understanding of the foundation. And it's going to use all this analysis, and it's going to direct, well, what can we believe about it? What can we unlock as far as changing what we shift in our goals? In this case, what are you harvesting based on the work you've done? And now North Node in Aries is unlocking a new circle of friends, a new direction of authenticity you move forward with friends, so that this can unlock the creativity of your social talents as fifth house Libra. Of course, representing the individual, you and I are individual spirits. Gemini, Aries, Taurus, Cancer are the first four individual signs representing, of course. And please, if there's anything you want to mention, don't hesitate to interrupt. If you want to ask anything, that's totally
I feel
fine.
like, yeah, you did a reading for me last time, and I did a lot of interrupting, so I'm just absorbing now.
Okay. Oh, okay. I was about to say, this does seem familiar, so let me kind of merge that. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is the
I'm an
second.
acupuncturist too. That's why.
Oh, that's beautiful. Right,
Yeah.
right. Oh, that's so awesome. And the
Yeah.
coolest thing about that is Uranus is in Taurus now. So, for the first time ever, it takes like 40, 50 years. Uranus is now opposite your Uranus. And now all that psychological quality of innovation is now tangible for you. It's going to be able to enhance, with Jupiter in your sign, the quality of not just acupuncture, but all the healing you do. More noticeable effects, the integration of all your life's experience that manifests this innovation that might have just been more conceptual. And it's cool because now the North Node in Aries is aligning you with the right team to move forward with, even if it's just you, so that once this goes into Pisces, you gain that support to unlock milestones. So it's like by next year, the North Node is going to be at the end of Pisces, the final 20 degrees on Saturn and Neptune. This is a totality of unlocking your full dream. And you're within the year of that. So this means all the work you've done this year is just going to transition you. Jupiter is going to go over your Gemini rising. And this is going to be our chapter 1. The last time we had this was 2012. So this year you're reading the last chapter of a 12 chapter book that started 2012. And then coming into this year, next year, you're getting ready to open the first chapter of a new 12 chapter book of expansion over those next 12 years from Gemini back around to Gemini 12 years from now. So this evolution cycle, you've already had your Saturn return, you're harvesting it, and this is really putting everything in position. You want to see this year as a full-on transition where you've completed the last 12 years. Now you're changing who you think you are because of the success you've gained over the past 12 years. This is you literally experiencing everything you've ever wanted happen so that by 2025, now that you are it, you get to move forward and now start this next cycle here. So this is really cool because the eclipse we're going to have in Aries is going to be on your Venus, your Mars, your Mercury. Of course,
Because
this is
everything's in there.
yeah. And that's really those personal planets, your mind, your heart, and of course your desire are very rawly. I have Mars and Aries too, of course. Like before we can think about what we do, we already did it. It's very instinctual. It's very dynamic. You have more of a concentration here. So this is going to unlock all of this original creative energy, now this is behind your Taurus sun. So even though it's in your 11th house as a Gemini rising, it is 330 degrees behind your sun, which is a 12th house aspect. So it represents this originality and rawness that is unconscious to you. And it's going to unlock unconscious habits and beliefs that now turn more into strengths. And it's going to really, really establish an authentic direction. You take all these creative facets of your heart and how exciting and original you can develop all this. Because this is now opposite your Pluto in Libra, it's unlocking the extreme social dynamic with which you present and perform this raw talent towards. So there's an extreme element of how you take your raw power. And as a Gemini rising, Libra is how talentedly you socially express your thoughts and creatively with extreme talent. So from now until October, it's unlocking this original direction. And then in October, you're going to harvest this by taking this original direction with the right people and then performing it socially. So these are individual actions you're taking now that in 6 months will be social actions taken with other people to harvest this new destiny direction. This, of course, is aligning with all the people who subscribe to you individually because they're going to support you towards unlocking this destiny of career. It's based on how you're supporting and guiding them. And this is cool because now once we step into May, the direction is now going to transcend your beliefs around your value, how much more valuable you are. We're going to have the Jupiter Uranus conjunction in your sign, which is going to be huge. This is going to start a cycle of completely making obsolete and transcending everything you've gone through. So I just spoke to someone before you who's also Gemini rising, and he was saying how like this past couple of months he's divorcing his wife, like everything's kind of falling apart for him, but he's also feeling like he's ready to step into like apply everything and become a new version of himself. And that's because when Jupiter goes through our 12th, we're releasing it's the last chapter, so we're getting ready to start a new cycle. For me, I didn't know I was gonna become the peace dealer. The last time Jupiter was here, I was just getting into astrology. I didn't know that I was going to right, and this is kind of what sponsored me being here. I'm closing the cycle. I'm ready to start a new cycle. And for you, because your sun is in the awareness here, you're going to be more aware of how things are transitioning, but it's also going to be your Taurus sun first chapter start. So this is going to expand your spiritual awareness, how much stronger of energy you effortlessly harness. What this looks like to me is if like, let's say you're a Reiki healer or through your acupuncturism, if it took maybe, this is just an analogy, if it took like 30 minutes to do a healing with someone, now it's going to take you like 2 seconds, right? It's thoroughly innovating your art, bringing in this experience. That's going to lead into Gemini season. That's going to now apply these new beliefs into who you think you are, expand your personality again, and it's going to have you communicate this direction you've moved forward into. And Gemini is going to be very exciting for that reason. It's going to square Pisces, and it's going to start to show you the seeds break through the ground relative to the new moon Pisces in your 10th house that has activated the new belief of what career goals you can step into. That's what brings us to July. July is going to be the checkpoint of the eclipse, which is your second house of finances. So this is going to really break through the ground of the seeds you planted this eclipse in a week of liquidity. So this is already going to start to show you, based off of new directions you take, the value of what money is going to start to come from it, how you feel more confident in yourself because you're seeing this direction now anchor in place. So the activation is Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. And this is like riding the bike so that you can get it steady. July is where now the bike is steady and we can start to pick up speed. And so this is where it's going to start to break through the ground. This is going to be the T-square between your Pluto and Libra and the Aries planets. And you're going to start to feel a greater depth of confidence, a new wave start to well up. This is going to show you now the value of the experience of how you are, with Saturn especially, blossoming a totality of milestone victory. And Leo season is where we're going to return, where Venus retrograded last year, and feel into the golden quality of how bold your soul is, and now the attitude in the third house of how much more courageously you'll be expressing the direction you're taking with the right people. This new moon in Aries can make new friends. It can, even if it doesn't bring someone else, this is you moving in your own direction as your own team. But this is going to attract authentic friends, existing friends, new friends who align with what you're ready to do, who inspire what you're ready to do. And by Leo season, you'll be speaking that language. You're going to take these individual actions and integrate them socially. Begin to now, share this with people around you. That's what's going to bring us to now September. That will manifest a total change of your environment relative to now harvesting the new moon in Pisces. It's going to be the first opposition we have to Saturn after the Saturn conjunction in Pisces. And this is going to give you a really good detailed analysis of how things are changing in real life relative to the beliefs you have about where you want to go. And that's what's going to bring everything since March into reality. And that's what's going to lead us to now Libra season, where we present all the details socially towards others. Hey, this is what I've established in April and May. This is who I'm doing it with. These are the results we've began to come into. And that's where people, when you present this creatively, because now you're taking this raw direction and you've polished it over the next 6 months, and now you have a much more extremely talented way to express this, that's going to rally all of the support, and it's going to unlock now more creativity relative to who you're originally aligning with. And the rest of the year after September and October is going to be more of a fulfillment of everything you've established. And then we're going to do the next version, 2025, where we'll come more into the direction of it. So 2024 is like experiencing the change. And then 2025 is moving forward in the aftermath of that change. So it's like last year, you basically invested, let's say, in a stock or your business. This is the year that it now reaches a new height. And because of your investment of 2023, you're experiencing, let's say, a lottery win. And now all year you're coming into the returns of your investments 2023, and then 2025. Well, now that you've won all this money, what do we do with it? How do we move forward with it? So 2024 is the year you become everything that you've worked towards becoming. And it really kicks off the next, 12, 24 years of your cycle moving forward. And now to really speak a bit more of that, we know that you have Neptune in Sagittarius. Oh,
Sorry. Yeah, I'm on a phone call. Sorry.
no problem. It's cool.
Sorry. I'm back.
So yeah, like we know you have Neptune in your 7th, and this opens up this like clairvoyant vision towards other people. It enables you to see the meaning of other people you're around. Even just talking to me, like you can, no matter who you're talking to, Neptune is going to give you a transformative insight, whether through visions or thoughts that just show you the meaning of who you're talking to, the quality of the relationship. And now Neptune is making a 90-degree angle in Pisces with your Neptune in Sagittarius. And this is now integrating this clairvoyant vision portal relative to how you apply this vision towards the collective global narrative that everyone believes, how everyone is connected, how this gives deeper insight into the career success you're meant to achieve and your legacy. Okay, your belief on what you're meant to do, really. This is also now taking to a deeper level your intuitive capability so that these visions can have their home in a deeper pool of imagination that will enhance more the groundedness of your psychic ability. It's taking all these abstract science fiction concepts and it's going to make them more in your grasp at will instead of just kind of experiencing them and wondering, wow, that was a unique experience. Now this is bringing more experience into the scenario. But yeah, that's really what to speak about over the next 6 months. If we once again look at this Pluto opposition, now that we're in Aries season and Mercury's retrograding, it's wrapping your mind around who you're going to move forward with. Because at this stage of your life, you have considerably evolved and you have like serviced and helped so many people. So now that you're coming into this next stage of yourself, the people who you used to, hang around, or the people who, the way you used to engage with certain people is going to require a much more raw, different, higher element, because now it's like you've evolved. So it's not really as simple as people hold you back. It's just changing your thinking around who you are with these people. And
Mhm.
that's going to turn into how you take that idea and connect in 6 months more socially with people, kind of integrating these aspects of your personality. And the Taurus concentration here, Jupiter is 17 degrees right now, Uranus is 20 degrees, angling your 20-degree Neptune. So it's integrating the claircognizant natural quality of how you can just know certain things and discern certain things based on what your body language tells you, based on what your body tells you. And then Chiron is linking healing with this aspect of your career and who it is you connect with, which we know you do acupuncture. So
Mhm.
this is really getting ready to just innovate, take this to the next level. I don't think people like, there's still like a misunderstanding, I would say, about what you do. And
Yeah.
because of what you do, like you're hooking so many people up, you're literally changing the world. So it's going to bring this more into prominence, as well as new activities and projects and evolution of what you're doing, because it's not like you're a medical doctor who just got out of residency. Like now
Yeah.
you have years under your belt, and this is going to really push forward. Saturn in your 10th house is giving you authority. That's your Saturn harvest. It's like, well, now that you've mastered what you do, it's time for you to become an authority in this field where people look at you as, oh, she's the real deal. Like this is now people are paying you to travel to really speak about these things, whether you're being paid to travel or not. You're like getting
That's
these.
what I wanna do. That's actually on my list is, like, I would love to try like, just be a speaker, you know what I mean? Because it's hard, like, I don't make any money if I'm not here, you know what I mean? Touching
Right. I
people,
feel you.
so
And I love that. I have chills right now. I'm when you get the recording, I do have manifestation videos. If you practice the law of assumption, you will see immediate results because
oh,
now
nice.
everything is just, you're so much more aligned than ever. And this is all based off of just believing and knowing.
Yeah,
And you'll see with these videos, you'll see everything aligns, because that's what's going to happen. What you're wanting to happen,
yeah,
it's going to be so amazing. And it's important to know that you worked for this. This is all
yeah,
the harvest of everything you built. And it's such a great place to be.
yeah, I'm excited about that. Yeah, I was actually so because, like, the eclipse is in Aries and, like, I have so much in Aries, I was like, "I hope it's good."
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just unlike people like me, because I have Mars in Aries, right? But I don't have Pluto in Libra. So that takes the authenticity you have, and it can create a bit of social anxiety, because now Pluto opposite this is an obsessive reaction towards anything you do originally that
okay.
people in society can either feel weird about, they could be jealous because of the authenticity. It's not a bad aspect. It just makes more extreme the reaction toward. It's like if you do something versus someone else does something, you're going to get more of an extreme reaction from that individuality.
Mm.
And the authenticity can intimidate those who are inauthentic versus those who like it. They could be obsessively positive towards it. And it just really speaks of now how extremely polished you're able to take this raw element of your actions and your love, and to sharply focus it towards other people in very creative fashion. That opposition is challenging because of the extremity, but because now the nodes are unlocking this. Unlike me, who doesn't have any planets in Libra, you're going to have this extreme social acuity that gives you the context of where to laser focus this towards. And it's going to crystallize. So I think you're going to feel more like your raw self, and kind of, resurface maybe certain facets that might have laid dormant because you were focusing on other elements. Not that you weren't using them, but it's just like a passing, going, collecting 200 again, which is
Mm.
also really dope. So between
Yeah.
that and then the Taurus, like everything is set. This is literally the end of that old chapter, and coming into the rest of this year, the work is done. Everything is just now
I
you're
love that.
experiencing it and receiving it. Yeah.
Thank you very much, because I'm ready for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we can say like now to the next 6 months is cardinally moving you in a direction. That was all basically to like, okay, we're going to move here. We're going to take everything we did and we're going to start to move in this direction. And then coming into next year from October to next year, March, now that we've moved in this direction, once the North Node goes into Pisces, we're now going to transcend the perception of where we begin to shift this direction. And that's what's going to unlock all the dreams you're wishing for now. And this is the year where you do it and make it happen, which
I
is,
love that so much.
yes,
Right.
it's,
Yes.
and please keep me posted. If there's
I
anything you
will.
want to mention, shoot me an email. I totally got you. Yeah, it should be very exciting.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Well, thank you very much.
No
I'm gonna go
problem.
heal the person in my lobby now.
Okay. Yeah. Super awesome.
Yeah.
You'll of course get the email from
Yeah.
WeTransfer. So yeah.
Yeah. So
Thank
great.
you once again for your
Thank you again. Have a great day. Happy eclipse.
likewise, and you have a blessed week.
Yes, you too. Thank you.
All right.